was good. How was everybody doing today? My name is Karma, and welcome to Illuminati. Today, I want to talk first off. I want to read this from the Old Testament. A lot of when in the Old Testament, when they were working with the Lord, a lot of their cleansing, ceremonial cleansings, were along the lines of some pagan and Wiccan rituals. For instance, cleansing from defiling skin, you would bring the diseased person to the ceremonial cleansing and brought to the priest. They would go outside the camp to examine them. If they've been healed from the defiling skin disease, the priest shall order 2 live clean birds, okay, and some cedar wood, scarlet yarn, and hyssop be brought for the person to be cleansed. Then the priest shall order that one of the birds be killed over the fresh water in a clay pot. He is then to take the live bird, dip it together with the cedar wood, the scarlet yarn, the hyssop, into the blood of the bird that was killed. Over fresh water 7 times he shall sprinkle the one to be cleansed of the defiling disease, and then pronounce them clean. After that he is to release the live bird in the open fields. The person to be cleansed must wash their clothes, shave all of their hair, and bathe with water. Then they will be ceremonially cleansed. So I wanted to talk about the death of Jesus being a trap. And almost in the same sense of a spell, having to use the blood of a clean person. Jesus was a clean person, made no sin. The blood of that cleansed person, he knew he was going to die. It was a trap. It was a setup, because Jesus wanted us to know that death is an illusion to produce fear. And he rose on the 3rd day. So when Mary went to the tomb and was looking for Jesus, she was looking for Jesus to be dead. She went to a gardener and said, where did they take my Lord? Not knowing she was talking to Jesus, because she was looking for a dead Jesus, because our perspectives can't wrap our minds around Jesus being resurrected. He is the Son of God, and I believe that to be true. So this was like a spell almost. A spell for us to be saved so we can be cleansed. But we were only able to be cleansed by the blood of a cleansed person. And Jesus knew he had to die to save us. Now, what a beautiful, beautiful story. Also, I wanted to talk about significance in the world and how we all want to make a difference, make our life count, our life to have meaning and impact. I'm going to talk about some things on here that other people are afraid to talk about because they might get canceled. Cancel me. Cancel me. I don't do it for the likes. I don't do it for the follows. I don't do it for the fame. I don't do it for the validation. Yeah, you see that right. I do it for God. I do it for the Lord. Okay? So me and my wife, we have different beliefs and perspectives. She works, she's a nurse at one of our state correctional facilities. And they're giving incentives to get the vaccine. They're getting inmates $25 on their books and a free pizza from the streets to get the vaccine. Which just makes it weird, why these incentives to get this. Also, there's a lot of famous people selling their soul, I would say. You already got money, and we're going to play a game of the 10's real quick. Can you name the top 10 wealthiest people in the world? What about the top 10 corporate executives? Or top 10 most admired people? Or the last 10 presidents? This just shows that position, wealth, status does not equal significance. can have more money, and eventually the money is not going to fill that void inside. You can only buy so much shit. Eventually it just becomes, it fills you for the moment, just that instant gratification, and then it's gone. Also, this is a true statement, because my girl's on the other side of the spectrum with me, so I know that, you know, when she agrees with me with something. But I seen a video of people putting metal up to where their vaccines were. Well, some people were putting it on their chest, but she told me that people at work that have gotten the vaccine, it actually does work. Just where the vaccine was, but there is a magnetic thing that she wouldn't lie to me about that because we're opposite. Normally we argue about things like this, but I'm not afraid to be canceled. I know that my soul is worth more to me than anything that this world can give me. When I fill my spirit, I am full and satisfied. When I fill my ego with worldly things, trying to build status, some people will only like you if you have a certain position. Once you lose that position, people aren't returning your calls anymore. People aren't listening to you anymore because you lost your position because they thought that your position could somehow benefit their life. That's the only reason that they followed and hung around. I don't care about that. Y'all can keep that. I mean, I want to be real about what is going on in the world. Cancel me. Cancel me, because I ain't doing it for none of this. I'm doing it for God. The God of my understanding. He talks to me in spirit. He keeps me awake at night. You know, and He'll move us towards our purpose. A lot of us may be reluctant to move. But, you know, this trying to find significance in life, I want my life to be significant. The best way that we find our lives to be significant is when we use what we have in order to help another person. That is where our true significance lies. Let me read it like how he said it. What did he say? The mass of men live lives of quiet desperation. It's a quote. Yeah, so why these incentives and why these famous people selling out? You know, you're going on commercials, you're promoting something when you're not a doctor, you're not a scientist, you don't know if they're safe and effective. I mean, from what I've heard, it's been kind of the opposite. So, I'm just telling people to look past what is presented in front of you. Why are these people like Doc Rivers? You know, I'm watching basketball and there's Doc Rivers promoting the vaccine. Why? You already paid, bro. You already got money, so you're selling out for more money to do this little ad when you're a basketball coach. I just don't think that's right, you know, and I think that people of the world do look up to, that people are influenced by, should start taking a deeper look at their souls. Look at your soul. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Do you honestly know all of the risks and benefits to this? Have you been a scientist studying the chemical compound of this? Sad, man. Money is the root. I mean, they say it's the root of all evil, but like, for what though? You can only buy so much. You can only get so many things, and then it still leaves you empty. You know, I could buy. I mean, eventually it's going to make me miserable inside because I'm just wasting it. I'm buying shit that I don't even need anymore. When I could be donating, helping a family that's starving on the streets. Selfishness. Yeah, I said it. I'm going to call it out too, man. I call it like I see it. I don't give a fuck, man. And then people that have any doubts or any concerns about their well-being and their health, because we know that people higher up do not have us, our well-being, they don't care about. Honestly, this has been happening for years. They want to depopulate the world because there's too many people and not enough resources. They want people to live shorter spans of life because at the end of their life, or not even birth children. I mean, at the prison that my wife works at, they're paying inmates to get transgender surgery to alter their bodies. The state is paying for their surgeries and then sending. So imagine me, a man, sitting in prison for 10 years, and then I realize, damn, I haven't been with a woman for a while. I'm gonna go get the sex change, and then they'll send me to the women's prison. That's what they do. You get the sex change, and then they send you to the women's prison. That shit is crazy. Hey, sign me up. If I'm doing life, sign me up. I'll go do it. You're gonna pay for it. You're gonna send me with the women. Let's go. Sad. It's really sad. I don't even know what to say, honestly. I'm heartbroken and sickened and disgusted by people that are supposed to be a good influence on people. People are looking up to you. Whether you know it or not, people are following what you say. If you're an influencer, make sure your soul is aligned with God, because God will let you know what is right and wrong. He's already written the law within our hearts and our minds. We got it already. They've been blinding us for years of our full potential. They don't want us to know that we can heal ourselves, you know. And then they give us products that eventually are going to create further disease or problems, so then you have to buy into more medical expenses. I'm not saying they're all bad, but I'm not saying they're all good either. So, that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please, this isn't nothing about like no conspiracy or nothing like that. I am an educated person who has been studying and both sides. I'm unbiasedly looking for truth through all the bullshit that they feed us. But that thing with the magnet thing, that's true. You get that, you put it right there, you can get something stuck right to it. She's seen people at work at least do it. Now, me personally, I didn't see it personally, so I don't know. You know, it could be people just, you know, the sweat, it sticks. But she said she's seen it. And you know, I already have people that I love and care about that got the vaccine. So, and who knows? I mean, there might. I mean, I don't even know. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Cancel me, y'all. I'm ready to be canceled. I don't care. I ain't fighting for the likes or follows. I mean, Facebook. I'm getting followers every day, but then it says that my followers are depleting every day by the dozen. So, and I'm seeing as people are following as well. So, don't listen to any of that. None of that even matters. This follows, likes, and all that doesn't add up to your significance. Because when you pass away, let a decade go by, your name is going to be obsolete. It's going to be faded in the wind. In this book, the Man in the Mirror, he talks about them going to a tennis U.S. Open tournament, and how they had women from like a decade ago who played tennis all the way up to the current year players, and the applause as they named each individual off went from barely any claps to thunderous applause when they got to the more relevant people. So these women were that person in their day. But it didn't add up to their significance. Our significance adds up to how much we're willing to allow God to use us and use that for the benefit of our humanity, mankind, man, womankind, humankind, people. I love you all. That's why I have groups on equality, because it's something I believe in. You know, that's why I have groups on sexual and domestic violence awareness, because that's something I believe I should speak up for. It's something I've endured. I'll be damned if my story just gets lost. It doesn't be produced for the benefit of somebody else. I have groups on mental health awareness. Man, do I struggle with mental health. But I do have a source that I can always rely on. His name is the presence. The Lord is the presence, the present moment. We have so much power right here and right now. The only place where our power exists is right here and right now. What we do with our moments going forward. I have groups on drug and alcohol awareness. I also have groups on spreading positive energy, spirituality, and the beautiful aspects of our world and creation that God has made for us. Photography and videography group called the Essence of Presence. So with that being said, Jesus dying was a trap. It was a setup. They fell for it. The blood of that cleansed man has made every sinner cleansed in the eyes of our God. The faith that I practice is what I believe in. I'm also, I've always been open I've studied multiple different religions. And even in the Christian faith, there was Martin Luther. He was seeing that the church was charging people, the Christian church was charging people for their sins. If you sinned, you could pay the church for your sin. No repentance needed, just a payment. You could even make payments for your family members. So Martin Luther thought that wasn't good, that wasn't what God wanted us. So there's a lot of man that had gotten involved in God. And when that happens, the selfishness, the greed, the ulterior motives, they arise in man, just as they arise in every man and woman. They arise in me too. I just don't act on them. I just care to be a better person than those things. I'm not going... I know that when I leave this earth, my body might be taken, but my spirit lives on. I'm going somewhere, and I have a good feeling about where I'm going. As long as I continue to do the right thing. What He speaks in my heart, because He's already written it in my heart and in my mind. So all I need to do is take a look within to see if a situation is sketchy or not. And whatever is presented in front of you, always look past it and always look deeper into it. Because that is how they attack us. They attack us with our unconscious mind, because our unconscious mind eventually makes us, it influences our attitudes and behaviors on a conscious level. So if they come at us with, just throwing things without us looking at it really, or looking into things, well, who is there to blame then? I know that I will not be guilty from silence. No. I love you guys. That's why I do this. That's why I'm not afraid to be canceled or speak my voice. I hope you have a wonderful day. May the light fill your spirit, and peace fill your minds, and may love fill your hearts always. That didn't work, of course.